9:22 here on this Valentine's Day morning. Happy Valentine's Day. It's a nice little start out there this morning. So it's not only Valentine's Day, today is also Congenital Heart Defects Awareness Day. It's a condition caused by the abnormal forming of major blood vessels. So joining us now, Holly Tucci, who is a heart defect survivor. Holly, good morning.
Good morning.
It's really good to have you here. We've been sort of chit-chatting during the break about what a congenital heart defect is. I feel like we've all heard this before, but talk a little bit about your experience with this.
So my experience was that I was born with it. That's what it means for it to be congenital. And it was something where my parents didn't know until about 24 hours after I was born.
Wow.
And what it led to, my particular defect, or CHD that it's referred to, is complete heart block. And that led it's the electrical system in the heart, and it led to my heart beating really slowly. And so by the time I was age 9 is when I got my first pacemaker, and that's what's allowed me to now live the way that I do. But it was certainly, challenging up until that point.
But here you are. You're a survivor. I mean, we were listening to Destiny's Child Survivor coming into the break here. So you have lived with this. How have you had to make changes, or what has it been like for you?
I think the biggest thing that comes with it is that you don't know when you're born what it's going to look like until you experience it. Like many things, until we go through it, we don't know what it's going to look like. For me, it's been now at the age of 38, I've had 8 heart-related surgeries, and so that's something that will continue. And will continue to go on and on as long as I'm alive, which is a great thing because it allows me to keep living. But it's also, there's that risk that comes in every time you have surgery, and with having a medical device and being dependent upon that and anything that goes with it.
You have also 2 kids.
I do.
Your youngest also had heart block as well, so this can be genetic.
It can be, and it's not yet been fully defined as far as being genetic. We have gone through genetic testing, but it's not scientifically confirmed yet. Okay. But I do have 2 boys. My oldest son, Tanner, is 12, and my youngest son, Mason, who's the one that also has heart block, he's 3.
Okay. So, well, I almost want to say congratulations, because despite all of this, despite the heart surgeries and finding this out and getting a pacemaker at 9, you are living such a full life. You've got these beautiful children. I mean, you're doing it. So it really can't, it really shouldn't, or doesn't have to stop people, I guess.
It doesn't have to. And I mean, it certainly does depend on what type of defect that the heart is given. Some babies are living and thriving and all the way into their later years in life, and some don't make it. Right. And so then you have the parents that are left with their heart angels that they're wondering about, and that's why it's so important for this research to continue and keep progressing.
Talk a little bit about some of the ways that you're trying to spread awareness about these defects, besides being here on our show and sharing your story.
Well, today is, as you mentioned, today is CHD, or Congenital Heart Defect Day. It's we've also been with a few different organizations, been leading a whole CHD Awareness Week. So a lot of social media platforms have been utilized to do that and help spread the awareness and really get the word out about what it means. And 1 in 110 babies are born with some sort of defect in their heart, so it is pretty common.
And that is really common.
It's very common, and I think that's the biggest thing, is creating the awareness, and then also being able to know that there are resources and organizations like the American Heart Association to be able to do the research, to be able to be there for support, to have communities. That's the biggest thing as a heart survivor, or warrior, as I like to refer to it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Along with, being one myself, and then having a child with it as well. Knowing what your resources are, what's out there for you in the community, and being able to have that support, because it takes a village to figure it out.
Absolutely, and it sounds like while we're making our way there into learning more, there's plenty that we still need to learn as well.
Absolutely.
Holly, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you being here and sharing your story, and again, congrats on being a warrior. I really like how you put that.
Thank you.
Appreciate that so much.